Is it worse to lose your faith in your fathers than it is to lose faith in yourself? Those in the Harrows who lived would be wise to look inwards, to reflect, and then to pay penance. But none carry a greater burden than young Lamentation Haskell. How will he guide the faltering faithful when he has so little faith in himself?
I didn't expect you back.
I'm working my way back to New Edentown.
There, you're on your own.
What's new around here?
I have no time for gossip.
How fare the people round here?
We're not out of the woods yet. You'll excuse the pun.
Now that you're in charge, what's the plan?
We finish what we started. We find the strength to leave New Eden forever. But not yet. They still have too much fear in their hearts, and not enough hope.
The region is still dangerous. They may never find the courage they need to leave it.
I'm sorry to bring this up, but your sister owed me money.
So?
I did my part. As the new leader of the camp, the debt falls on you.
Let me be sure I understand. You killed my sister, and now you're asking me for payment.
Well, the beast is dead, and I don't work for free.
You've a neck of brass and a bastard's heart. I hope your mother's very proud of you.
Listen, you don't pay a banisher to get what you want, but to do what must be done. And the beast is dead. Pay me.
You may take your blood money for bad work well done, and shove it in your choice of hole.
Do you wish to talk about what happened with the beast?
You killed my sister. I have nothing more to say to you.
Thickskin did what she did, and you were as horrified as I was, and laid the blame where it belonged.
You executed her.
Yes, I did. I know it seemed cruel. I contend that it was necessary, or seemed so at the time.
Sometimes, Banisher, I wonder if we did not exchange one monster for another.
The settlement seems to be doing well with you in charge.
We've made some gains, but we're far from ready to leave.
Did you tell them what Thickskin did?
I told them she died hunting the beast. Some are yet in their sullens, but they're better with sleep now the nightmares have stopped.
Perhaps them not knowing is for the best.
If we are to keep our chins up and leave for good, better they stay in the dark. Still, some troubles yet vex. The bodies of the lost are buried, many without names, but we found tracks. They lead away into the woods. Some may have escaped. I need to know for sure.
If they're alive, you mean?
Yes. And if they're dead, that they won't be coming back. We need no more beasts.
A new scourge is always possible, but very unlikely without the nightmare's influence.
Probably best to confirm, eh?
Thank you. I followed the tracks as far as I could from the killing ground. I left a red flag as a marker. From there, I ventured no further.
I'm trying to track them, and I was hoping you could help me.
I'm busy. Find them yourself.
I'm not asking you to do anything. I just need information. I may have some to share in return. So, I found your name in an old letter. It was addressed to someone by the name of Grace. It was written by Deborah Comenius.
You just can't leave a scab unpicked, can you? Especially if it's not your own.
Deborah wrote of a cabin in the woods. Could this Grace person have found it?
I don't know. It was all a very long time ago. I had forgotten her.
Did Grace ask you for help?
No. Grace Pennington vanished. No one ever saw her again.
Grace Pennington? As in Captain Saul Pennington?
What happened to Grace?
I don't know that either. There had been strife with her father. Then she was gone. And the captain spoke of her no more.
Deborah wrote the letter in February 1688. When did Grace disappear?
Months later, Pennington accused Deborah of being a witch. In my recollection, that moment overshadows all others.
What did Grace look like?
I remember her thin and boyish, encumbered by dresses she hated to wear.
That sounds like Seeker.
Does the name Seeker mean anything to you?
It sounds less a name than a calling, but neither mean anything to me. We done?
One more question. Did the school teacher keep a cabin in the woods?
Deborah spent much time walking the woods, trying to understand New Eden, she said. Now that you mention it, I remember a snowstorm. She spent 3 days in a hut not far from here. Southeast, across the drawbridge, along the path towards the mine. If it's still there.
Goodbye to you for now, Kate.
What have you done with her, Islander? Drop the innocent look, son. I'm not buying. That mutinous varlet escapes her cell and you swan in here without a care in the world. You expect me to believe the two unrelated?
Is he looking for a new scapegoat? Already?
Answer the question, McRaith. Where is Ellen Priest?
Any a clue? I didn't even know she'd fled. Whatever she's doing, it's her own endeavour.
She cannot have escaped without help. Again, I smell the deep, dark stench of rebellion.
So dramatic. Should have been an actor.
All right, Captain, settle down. Walk me through what happened.
I don't know what happened, not exactly. The cell keys have vanished, a mutineer with them. Now, her character's one part vinegar and the other malaise. Now, who knows what bitter treason she now foments.
All due respect, sir, this is not my circus, and Mrs. Priest is not my clown. This is not Banisher business.
That we know of.
While she remains out there, flapping loose like an undone mainsail, there can be no trust in here. Find her, McRaith, and I shall believe you. Find her, and do what must be done.
How stand Fort Jericho and our people? Anything notable to relate?
Here's one. An incident with Flora Abbott. One of her comrades petitioned me against her. I turned it down. Not content with fighting specters, some also wish to fight amongst themselves.
Helen Priest a liability, do you think? Or is she shot or bow?
When a tiger shows its stripes, only a fool believes it's anything but a tiger. And she jeopardized her fort once before. Why wouldn't she do it again?
Tell me about Sebastian Priest. What kind of man was he?
He was my loyal right hand for the longest time. On his last assignment, he failed me, miserably. He's remembered as a hero by those who do not know.
You didn't like him?
Long ago, I had a dog. Bo was his name, and he was stupid, bellicose, disloyal. Horrible little bastard, truth be told. I miss that dog more than I miss the man Sebastian Priest turned out to be.
What do you know of a young woman named Grace?
I don't know where you heard that name, Banisher, but you should not say it again.
It's important, else I wouldn't ask.
Important or not, you'll have no answer.
After all I've done, I rather think you owe me it.
The four told you, that much is true. But the debt will be settled some other way.
I read the name on a letter. It was a very interesting missive. According to this letter, what happened to Grace was entirely your fault.
No. The fault was hers. She was stubborn.
The letter told quite the tale. I'd like to hear your side of it.
I have heard tell, sir, of the contumacious Scots, and I did not hear wrong. For you are indeed relentlessly, perversely, bloody-mindedly obstinate.
Why the mystery?
A stubborn and difficult child. Always quick to disobey. Especially when the orders were mine. Never understood her antagonism or hostility. A sheer bloody-minded antipathy. She didn't get it from her mother. Now I have no daughter, and it is all the better for all concerned.
The letter was clear. You're to blame for what happened to her.
She has no one to blame but herself. I tried to prevent it. She would not listen. I hurt her. That, sir, is laughable. I worked hard to make up for her mistakes, so she would not pay the price for them.
Whatever you did seems to have made things worse.
I stood firm. That, sir, is what must be done, and that, sir, is what I do. I stand firm.
Want to tell me what happened?
If you must know it, I sent her away. I exiled her.
Why? Why would you do that?
She left me with no choice. I caught her in an act of sin. I caught her reading, studying. Witchcraft, sir. I caught her studying witchcraft. There was a book. I don't know where it came from, and damned if I could get rid of it, but she would not put it down. Not even after I forbade it.
Now, why does Lammy Haskell suddenly spring to mind? And Deborah, too.
Though Deborah was innocent, you accused her of witchcraft. Do you deny it?
Deny it? I claim it. By law, she was no witch. But neither was she innocent. She was poison. A ruiner of children. She corrupted my Grace. I am a much changed man with the intervening years. Looking back, with the benefit of experience, I was entirely right and would not change a thing.
If I came to learn your daughter survived, if I knew where she was...
No, I'd have nothing to say to her. For me and all who know me, Grace Pennington is long dead. Think what you will of me, I care not. I did what was necessary, and I'd do it again. And that is all there is to say.
Anyone home? Deborah knew about this place.
Focus on the matter at hand, Red.
I am. Fine wardrobe for a youngster.
They're rags.
And they won't help us find her. Aye. Quite the fall from grace.
That's not funny, and neither is this.
Aye. Fair enough.
More demonology. Unusual for a witch. These two schools of magic don't usually see eye to eye. Perhaps Lammy could help us with the spell. Same circle as the one on the entrance. But I don't know the symbol. I don't know it, but I think Lammy might. Seeker drew this. Now we know. She's in the mountains. In the mountains, behind a magic door. And the circle is, somehow, the key. We did well to come here. Now we know where she's hiding. Soon we'll be able to use the pond. All we need is the key to the dissimulation spell. And Lammy Haskell will help us with that.
Sure.
Well, ho there. What a pleasant surprise. I was fair and sure that I'd never see you again.
Where are you off to?
Far away, God willing. Build bridges, say the wise, that people may better understand each other. Build a jetty, say I, so that a ship may come and we can leave. New Eden is a fascinating study for you and I. But for ordinary folk, it is, as I've heard it put, a shite hole.
Leaving changes nothing. You just end up making the same mistake somewhere else.
We must always be open to the possibility that people may learn from their mistakes. Is that not right, Mr. McGrath?
Spoken like a leader.
I fear, however, that not everyone shall listen. I fear what shall befall them if they stay behind.
So, Lammy, what's the word around here?
What do you wish to know?
What about you, Lammy? How are you?
I'm well. Or as well as I could wish for. But I still have questions for you, mistress.
We have time for one or two.
I've seen how you move. Do time and space work differently for you?
Not so much when I'm with the living. But yes, they're different.
May I ask another?
Yes, you may.
And what do you miss from being alive?
A big question. Too big to answer. Where would I start? I miss all of it.
May I ask another?
Yes, you may.
Did you see God? Have you met angels? What about demons? Who's in charge in the afterlife?
I'm afraid I have no answer for you.
May I ask another?
Yes, you may.
Do you feel pain?
Not physically. I feel anguish. The memory of pain sometimes.
May I ask another?
Yes, you may.
Do you control how you appear to the living? How do you do that?
Some can see me with no effort. To others, it's a choice I make. It's effortless, as easy as opening my mouth to speak.
May I ask another?
Let's leave it there.
How fares New Eden and the Harrows?
It's not easy. I don't have my father's authority and people fear evil more than ever.
Tell me about the settlers. Anything strange to mention? Stranger than usual, I mean.
Folk have been quite lovely as it happens. Each tries to do their best and spirits are high. Thinking about it, that's actually really strange. Really strange indeed.
We overheard you. What are you working on?
I, to my horror, am working on a speech. It's terrible. I don't even know where to start.
I'd speak of past mistakes and how they show you the way to a better future.
That might just work. Thank you.
Are things that bad?
Tell the truth, I don't rightly know. They don't trust me. They tell me nothing, and when they do, they're probably lying. And without the wards, well, I fear things will get worse before they get better. In fact, they already have. Specters walk, and we are in need of a banisher, or two. If you can bring people peace, well, I doubt they'll be grateful. But perhaps they should have the strength to believe in a brighter future.
We found a page ripped from a book. Here, do you recognise it?
Let me see. Is this from the Trismegistus riddles? Yes, it seems to be. Why would you bring me one mildewed page from an amusing but harmless little book?
Why would you fail to disclose that you'd given another ritual to another friend?
It was a long time ago. I said after Caleb I'd distribute no more rituals, and that's what I've done. Not done.
We know. But we're looking for Grace Pennington now, and we were hoping you'd help us find her.
Who?
Really, boy?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mistress Antea. You said Grace's name, and it is my reflex to protect her.
Ever heard of someone named Seeker?
Seeker? No. Sounds like a title, like my true pursuer. This Seeker... Is she Grace? Is she alive? Do you know where she is?
We think she's Grace. We hope she's still alive. We're trying to find out.
We think she's hidden herself away behind your dissimulation spell.
Then you'll need to unravel it. Shouldn't be too difficult once you're armed with the salient facts.
When was the last time you saw Grace Pennington?
It had to be a few days after I brought her the cloaking ritual. When I returned to visit, the hut had disappeared. Which makes sense now that I think of it.
That's it? You never again tried to find your best friend, your only friend.
Well, you see, some weeks later the first whispers of witchcraft started to fly about town. I kept my head down and Grace was better off out of it. I was right. And I'm glad she escaped. Strange to think of her again after so long.
How does the ritual work?
It creates illusions so effective that they deceive even the keenest eye. There are more effective cloaking spells, but the Trismegistus riddles do have a simple elegance.
The short version, please, ending with how we break it.
Yes, of course. To achieve that, all you need is the caster's full name and the symbol used to make fast the illusion.
Grace Pennington and a triangle pointing downwards.
Well then, now all you need is a simple counterspell from the same book and... Oh my.
What now?
I'm afraid I left my copy in the Araloo. In the void.
That's just great. Just great.
Yes, but in my defence, once you've retrieved the book, dispelling Grace's illusion will be like a walk in the park. Comparatively speaking.
Thank you for your help.
Could you tell Grace that I'm still her friend? I'd be glad to see her again.
Once we found her, we'll be glad to tell her.
We must look at our past. Our... mistakes. Our past mistakes?
Our book isn't here.
Our book might be up there.
I might need some help.
I might be able to give it.
This looks like Lami's stuff. Only more scattered.
Even with the void shifting, the book should be around here somewhere.
Got it. That seemed a little too easy.
We have the symbol we need. Let's go back to the mountain and find her hiding place.
Did you hear that?
First things first, Red. Get out of there! Can I join in too?
Where'd you go, you wee bastard?
Think you could take on a ghost? It's stronger now. Brace yourself. Can't outrun a ghost.
Try this on. Uh-oh.
Look to me.
afraid to take a wee punch, are you?
Watch your step.
Die, you bastard!
Not quite. This is it. Seeker is behind this wall. Let the veil of unknowing be lifted. Let us see through the eyes of Grace Pennington.
Ceridian?
You're surprisingly slow, even for a banisher. You're late. Or early.
At last we find you.
Missed me that much, did you? You could have hurried. You always think you have more time, and suddenly you don't.
It wasn't in vain. We have come far and learned much.
I hope so. But don't think you have it all figured out. You're still banishers, after all.
We are indeed, Grace.
So, you know.
I know you're Pennington's daughter. Still, can I see the family resemblance?
In the end, neither could he.
It must have hurt.
The dear captain is many things, but he is a Puritan through and through. And I, his daughter, am a witch. I defied him. I sought forbidden knowledge and stepped beyond the boundaries. At the end of that most painful of journeys, Grace was dead. And Seeker was born. Yes, it hurt, but it was worth it. I accept it now. I accept it all. Ceridian has left a hollow, and I am called to fill it. I accept. I am ready for my role in this world. Are you ready for yours?
You learned magic by yourself.
Not really. Not at all. First, Lammy Haskell's forbidden books told me that magic was real. They say you must look out for the quiet kids. And that was me and Lammy. Reading those books opened my eyes to worlds of wonder. But I did not learn witchcraft until Ceridian found me. Lammy showed me the view from the prison window, but my mistress walked me right out the door.
Then Ceridian was your true mentor.
I was an angry girl with dreams of freedom and a bundle of mouldy parchments, of which I understood almost nothing. She taught me patience. She tried to teach me serenity. I learned to stick to real witchcraft and leave the magic tricks to more feeble minds. No offence.
None taken. I'm rather proud of my feeble mind.
We looked for you everywhere. Why did you leave the Maya marshes?
I needed time, silence, my own space.
Hidden away behind Lammy Haskell's dissimulation spell.
Oh, you know about that. It held a full 7 years. Isn't that impressive? This is the place where I embrace solitude. This is where I made it a strength.
Did Ceridian find you here?
Not physically. I dreamed of her. I dreamed of the Maya marshes. So, I went there. And I found the island.
Quite the thing. Meet your dream in person.
I suppose so. At the time, I was more focused on the fun I'd had getting to the island.
Also,
Our first dance. I admit I ran away. But we have danced many times since then. Old Mosshead, Ceridian and me.
the time has come for us to go back to New Eden and face the nightmare.
Yes. Balance must be restored. You must face your fate and end the curse.
Ceridian said the only way back was through the void. But the pond seems broken. We need your help.
Of course you do.
We're listening.
Remember Ceridian's words. If you were to defeat the nightmare, your hearts must be open to each other. No barriers. Your bond must be strong.
We've never been stronger.
This void breach is not like the others. This one leaks. This one sits at the rotten core of the entire region. You must leave whatever still burns in your hearts at the threshold. If you don't, the void will kill you.
Do you know where in New Eden town the void shall lead us?
The trick is to focus on your happiest memories and let them take you there. At least that's how it's always worked for me.
We'll try.
And when at last you succeed, I too shall return to New Eden town. I shall see you there.
The time...
Yeah,
Ceridian at the pond.
of course. Remember, this void, you must leave whatever's the trick. And when at last...
With that, we'll take our leave.
Bring peace to this troubled land and your troubled hearts, my friends. I know it's not easy to hear, especially when it's me saying it.
On the contrary.
Thank you, Seeker. We'll do our best.
What's that?
That is not your concern.
I like your new place a lot better than the old one.
I was a different person then.
This will be useful.
In the fields outside Havana, the air is thick and hot this time of year. The downpour lasts for days. I used to lie on the grass, face to the sky, and let the rain wash over me. I'd come home soaked through, smelling of salt and dirt. It drove my mother insane. I never thought I'd hear myself say this, But I miss it. I miss home.
What do you miss?
I miss our house. It was ever full. By day, the sick seeking my mother's cures. By night, our friends and neighbors for food and hot debate. We did not have much, but any who came hungry would be fed. My father was known for his ngombo. I miss it. And I miss the warm, clear sea. I don't know. I think maybe it would be nice to go back for a little while.
You told me you weren't one to put down roots.
Maybe I could with you. I think I'd like that.
I think I'd like that too.
Thank you for standing by my side through it all, for everything. Into the fray, then.
Always. What is it?
Baggage I may need to finally face. Let's press on.